Hello everybody. So I've been working hard on getting my elevated box blind built. I started off by creating the trail, the entrance trail, back this way. And then I cleared out the site where this thing is at, got all the sticks and debris and everything out of the way, and then I started digging. I dug these holes all by hand, went down about 2.5 feet.
Hey, Froggy.
These are big holes that are designed for these whopping telephone poles. Yeah, buddy. I was talking to a guy on Facebook about it as I posted a picture, and he's like, telephone poles? And I'm like, well, yeah, if a tornado comes through, I want this thing to be able to stay standing. In all reality, the nice part about this is that sometimes you can get your hands on some telephone poles for free. And boy, does that sure beat having to buy green treated lumber when, you're talking, that's expensive. You're going to spend a lot of money on that. So these poles here, it's the ticket. So once I got done digging the 4 holes, then I had to figure out a way to get these telephone poles up over this berm that I have back behind me here. It's taller than me. It's going to be a concealment berm so that I'm able to get in this tower stand without being spotted by any deer. And in fact, just the other day, I was in here clipping the trail, and I get done clipping the trail, making all this noise, and I pop up over the edge, and there was a deer that was sitting out in my food plot back there. So to get these poles up over this berm back behind me, what I had to do was get a tow rope, hook it onto a tree behind me, and then I had to get a come along and hook it up onto my pole, and I slowly just inched that thing over and worked it into the hole. So that's a way that you can do this as a one-man band out here. And it really wasn't that bad, honestly. Using the come along, it really worked well. Well, I finally just got all 4 poles set. That last sucker right there was kicking my butt. Couldn't get it up over this log here, and this berm is so close to where I have the hole that I had to get this thing to like pivot down like this and then drop straight down. And I just could not get that sucker. So I had to literally flip the pole over to the other side and then tip it up from the opposite direction because I could get more space to actually get this thing in close to the hole. So, oh, geez, not fun at all, and I'm sweating like a pig now. But all 4 poles are set. I got all the cross pieces on. I got the rim joists on. It's almost ready now for a floor. Just got to put my joists, and we're going to be putting up walls pretty soon. The next step was to get the subflooring on, and then I went and started building the walls inside of my garage. Once I had finished building the walls, I took them out and brought them up on top of the tower stand and started to get them all level and set in place. To construct the roof, I took 2x6s and got them all up on top and then started screwing in the pieces together. I got everything all lined up and ready to go, got the sheeting on top. It's really starting to look like a tower stand at this point. From there, I started to put the waterproofing membrane on the roof, and then I also put the drip edge as well as the shingles on top of the roof. And now, as you can see here behind me, this is the finished product of the roof. It is done. So to get up on top of this roof conveniently, I had this tree here, and I strapped on some climbing sticks to get up here. So the next step in this process was to paint the exterior of the tower stand. And so I grabbed a roller and an extension arm, and I was able to get this thing all the way up to the peak with that. So I just finished building my own house, and one of the supplies that I had left over was some soffit and fascia. So I put that on the tower stand. The next step was to go around and install all of the corner trim pieces. I then built the back door. At this point, the exterior is starting to come pretty close to being done. I then jumped inside of the tower stand and started to begin the work there. I first installed the insulation in the walls and also in the ceiling. This will help make sure that the tower stand stays warm on those nice cold days. I then put up a vapor barrier because I was going to use leftover sheetrock from my house project. Now, I did have to piece together a lot of the sheetrock because I didn't have many full sheets. So it looked a little janky for a while, but I ended up going out and putting some mud in the cracks, and then when I put the black paint on, it really dressed it up nice. I then got the windows weather stripped and I got the plexiglass in place. I then added some Durarock into the one corner so that I can have a place for the buddy heater, and then it was on to installing the carpet. I also made up a little rig so that I can hook my tree camera arm in my tower stand to film my hunts. At this point, the interior of the tower stand is done. So all that was left to do was put the railings on the stairs and get the stairs painted, as well as painting the posts and all the cross pieces. And to put the final seal on this tower stand, I painted the logo for my hunting show. If you're interested in building this tower stand like I did, I put a link in the description below where you can purchase the plans. This will give you all of the building materials as well as the plans and measurements that you need. I also added in a few improvements to the design that I wish I would have done with mine. I will be making 2 more videos about this tower stand. The one will detail how I was able to do this project for $250, and the other one will be about how I designed this thing. It'll give you just a broad overview of some of the features about this tower stand. Having this tower stand on our property is going to really make things nice when I start introducing my daughter Madeline into hunting. It's also going to be really nice for my wife, who doesn't like to get cold feet when she's hunting. And the beauty of all this is we can slip out of the yard 70 yards, jump up in that stand, and be right in the zone for some good hunting. It will be a place of great memories.